This video is essentially about understanding when price is most likely to bounce or when it's most likely to break a structure area. So for me, the kind of general rule that I use is if price has created an area and it's the first time that price is coming back to that area since it was created, then it's probably going to react from it and retrace, bounce, rather than break it on the first time, especially whenever it's a 1 hour or above area, especially a 4 hour area, a daily area. Usually a daily area is basically a 4 hour area as well. And whenever it's a daily area, it could be that it's such a high time frame that the kind of immediate bounce doesn't happen in the way that you would expect it to happen. So if you'd watched my previous video that I went over the 10 till 2 candle and what I thought of today and what I thought that price was going to do on a couple of pairs, Euro Aussie, dollar CAD being the two, I felt that Euro Aussie and dollar CAD both had shorts to in them. But obviously, because they'd moved decent enough early London session, I also said that it could be that price pulls back a bit more before then making the main drop. And as you see on dollar CAD and Euro Aussie, both of them have happened. So I hope that you've at least been able to take advantage of that, or whether it's a reversal trade or whether it's a continuation. 425, it's the end of the kind of trading day for me, but some of you out there could be looking for a deep pullback and looking for that push. Obviously, it broke the lows of the day, so it's been a nice smooth move. Now, what I mean by 4 hour areas that are created, 1 hour areas that are created, are essentially break and retest areas. Whenever price breaks an area and then comes back to it, breaks through, comes back to it, it's more than likely, even if it's not going to break the lows of the pullback for whatever reason, maybe it's a higher time frame area or whatever, it's more than likely going to cause at least some kind of reaction from here to then decide whether it's going to keep it within the trend or whether it's going to react from here, not be able to break the low, and then do something that actually creates a potential new support area, breaks through, retests again, and then goes that way in the opposite direction. Also, if I just delete here, the other key time, so that's a break and retest. The other key time is whenever price impulses away from an area, and then the next time that price comes back to there, it's probably going to have some kind of reaction. So an example of this here is this area here. So we have this area. The price obviously created a break and retest area as well because it created support and broke through it here, closed beyond it here. You can see the support, closed beyond it. So we didn't quite get back up to the origin of this impulse, but the first time that price, like after creating a move for 4, 5, 6 hours, first time that price comes back into this area, it's caused a reaction. Now, is it always going to push away from there, create the origin of the pullback, pull back, and then get to the origin of the pullback, and then continue on like this so smoothly? Well, not usually. But as you can see, even in this example, if I just, and this is why with the trade management style that I'll also be doing a video on and how I manage trades, this is why it's so important, is because I always expect a reaction. Even although it might look small and there's not been any kind of reaction at the origin of the pullback, there actually has been. So where has that occurred? Well, you've got the pullbacks here. This is the origin, of the pullback. This is the pullback. Then prices came down into here And the first time that price, after it's made that push, first time that price came into here, 5 till 6, look what happened. Price pulled all the way back near to the highs of the previous 1 hour as a reaction of getting the buyers in at this area, because this was the low of the day. It's caused a reaction from the previous time that price was here, so it's reacted. Now it's not reacted as much as what it did the first time that price was here, but that's essentially what I want to kind of go over, is the fact that it's not always going to be that clear what, like, as if there was a reaction or not, but more often than not there is some kind of reaction. Now here oh, here you can see that we've created a support area that's pushed and created a new high. Now, what's happened whenever prices came back into here? It's caused a reaction. We've pushed higher. So this is the exact same. Like, you've created the push, then it's like, well, if people were shorting from here for whatever reason, I wouldn't advise it, because obviously it's a strong bullish push, but people in lower time frames or whatever could be just shorting the range. This has to be the kind of first target, because one, you're against the overall trend, which is still bearish on dollar CAD, but for this particular example, this is where the origin of the push originally started from. So the next time that price comes into here, it's going to cause a reaction. If I just go on to the 4 hour and show some examples, obviously this is one pair, but this is applicable to all pairs. Now, sometimes you do get overshoots like this, but we did have a reaction. We do get an overshoot, immediately fell back in, created new resistance, push, created a break and retest area here, as you can see. Break and retest, retest. Quite a strong bullish candle, but because it's against the overall trend and it's at a sell high area on the 4 hour, you can look to short it, after it's taken out or close to the highs of this bullish candle at the break and retest area, which happens. Then you get a 1 hour close in your direction, and you just look for a lower time frame pullback after that 1 hour close, and then you're looking for that next push back into this area, which obviously was the origin of the latest push to the upside, and a break and retest area that hasn't been retested. So again, I expect a reaction from here, probably in the Asia session. Looking ahead, what I would say is that this area is going to be a break and retest area that potentially could be resistance, and then push down again, even fall through into this original range, because it's an overall downtrend. You've got the support that could turn resistance, and overall the momentum is clearly in the downward momentum for dollar CAD. Now, if I just clear some of these away, but I just hope that you understand that whenever, especially the 1 hour, the 4 hour, obviously it happens in the lower time frames as well, but it's just not as big a reaction. If you have somewhere on the 1 hour, the 4 hour that has either been broken and closed beyond, it could become a retest area, or has been the origin of a strong push in a certain direction, expect that price, the next time it comes there, it should have a reaction. So don't just blindly think, right, okay, well, I'm going to take a trade and trade into that area, and not being aware that actually this has to be a management point that is more than likely going to cause a reaction, rather than just automatically expecting price to push through it without little to no reaction.